So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
I blame it on industry. I blame it on my own hypocrisy. Miseducation and politicians.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We are being broadcasted live at LifestyleRadio.ca and at Spreaker. And I'm your host, Al Graham. Today on the Pace Radio Show, Northern Ontario Kim Cooper returns and has brought us a couple of guests, keyword couple, who love to bake up a storm and I bet help patients every day with their business. But before we meet these guests of Kim's, I'm going to have a little bit of a chat with her. Kim, are you there?
I sure am, Al. It helps when you unmute your mic.
Hey, that happens. That happens. You know, it happens to all of us. That's all right. That's okay.
But I am here, and yep, here with a smile and with bells on as usual every Wednesday.
Good. You're looking good.
Thank you. Radio waves do me well. You're looking good to yourself there, my friend.
Thank you. It makes us look a little bit younger. All right, before we bring in our guests, we got a couple of things in the news that we'd like to discuss. First thing I'm going to bring up is something that I noticed there today, that there was an announcement from the involving the class action suit on the privacy breach involving the patients, the letter from Health Canada, the big white envelope that had the big window that told everybody that they were medical marijuana patients.
Yes, lovely of them to do that to everybody. It was. This has been going through the courts for a while and sifting through its way through April the 5th, which happens to be a special day for me also, but now it turns out a special day for patients as well. The issue was heard again. They're reserving decision. It can take a few months before it comes down, but it's been heard.
Yes, it's been heard. So we get that announcement that'll let us know it's been certified and everything's going forward. So it's always nice to get an update on that because we don't. It's not something that's moving quickly. We were told it was going to go slowly through the courts, and it is, but it's still something that's there.
Absolutely. We have to keep tabs on these things and make sure they're going in the right direction in a timely manner and so forth. Yeah. And this one seems to be moving along nicely, and it's good to see an update come out of the courts for that one. Yes,
exactly. Okay, now you had something that you want to mention about speech today?
Yeah, Randy Hillier was in Parliament in Ontario today, and he talked quite extensively regarding the vapor lounge laws that are coming into effect, that could be possibly coming into effect, and the new bills that are in the systems right now. I was quite impressed by his speech, actually, how lengthy it was and how well-versed he was, and he kind of mentioned a few things that touched my heart. And he mentioned at the end that the interchange between human beings require person requires social interaction that requires interchange between people. This bill renders these people renders these people and ostracizes them. They make it they treats them like pariahs and of these people, and it's like we're going back in time to the days of having lepers. So that's quite a comparison to make for a cannabis patient. You hear a member of Parliament speak on Parliament Hill and say that in his view the new laws that they're talking about coming into in Ontario are going to put cannabis patients and cannabis consumers that have a medical prescription to use their medicine in comparison to the same light as what we used to view lepers. That's atrocious. And it is, I applaud the man for using the language.
Yeah, well, it was nice to hear that, them speaking up and assisting us. And I know that Kathleen Wynne was warned back in November that, if they outlaw this from patients being allowed to vaporize in locations like that, that there is going to be a challenge in court, and there's a good chance that they will lose it. So this is all over the public roar over when it was announced in November, and it's not based on any sound or evidence that is strong. So it's just it's not right. Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, let's move on to our guest. That was our news. So our guests tonight, as I mentioned, are a couple of people who I think have a sweet tooth, and as I said, love to bake up a storm. So we'd like to welcome our friends, Doug and Michelle Sikora, who are from S&M Medicinal Sweet Shoppe, onto the Pace Radio Show. Welcome.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
How's it going, guys?
Good. Hey, we got you both on there at the same time. That's great.
Awesome.
Welcome to the show, and we really appreciate you coming on and talking about what you're doing out there, wherever you may be in Canada. I'm sure I'll find out very shortly, though.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
It'll be good.
Okay, basically here, I'm sure Kim has mentioned to you, I'll hand you over to Kim. She'll ask a bunch of questions. I'll jump in occasionally along the way. We'll have 2 breaks, and at the end we'll have a shout-out where you can promote somebody or website. So we'll get to that later on. All right?
Sounds good. Hey, I got to ask you guys, how's the weather back there right now?
Right here, well, it's, to tell you the truth, our rain is the color white. It's not clear. It's white.
Well, I'll pay you a picture off our deck, because I'm sure Kim has a couple pictures of it. We got about plus 18 and sunny here right now.
Yeah, don't want to hear it.
Yeah, well,
sorry, guys, I just wanted to paint you a picture.
The plows were out the other day. They're talking about more tonight. So yeah.
Yeah, not good.
Not good. They're not good. I hope you enjoy yours.
Go for it. It's coming. You guys are going to get it soon.
Yeah, our flowers were starting to bloom. Our flowers were starting to come up, like our trilliums and stuff like that were starting to pop up out of the ground. I don't know whether, Kim, you still had snow last time I talked to you, so.
Still do.
I got strawberries growing in my garden right now. I'm sorry, guys.
Quit rubbing it.
Okay. Come on by.
All right. Well, that's our weather report for tonight. And Kim, I'm going to hand the reins over to you.
Thanks very much, Al. Hi, guys. I see you're quite lively tonight. Things are going well on the Sunshine Coast.
Well, it's beautiful here, and we've got a delegation appointment before our council, and we hear there's going to be some announcements there tonight. So we've got our finger crossed. It's all going to go in our favor.
That's great. We're going to get all the detail on that and so much more. Tonight, in case you aren't aware, we have tonight with us 2 guests, Doug and Michelle Sikora. S&M Sweet Shoppe happens to be a favorite of mine, personally, recommended to many, obviously. Personal favorite of mine. You guys are such a cute couple, and I applaud all of your efforts that you do. Many people may not be aware, the one thing that I really find attractive about your business is that you are from seed to table producers. You grow all of your own product to turn into the medication. So that's one thing that is very different for you compared to other medicinal sweet companies that are out there today. Other people get their product from other growers stores and having product supply, whereas yours is pretty much steady, given yet you grow it. How did you come up with this concept?
Yeah, well, it was basically, I started developing, I know, 5 years ago when, because of a back injury, getting myself off the pills. And it was funny because we were watching a TV show and seeing a comedy show that got an idea into my head, and I made a medicinal Tootsie Pop. I came up with the design, and that candy helped me get off Oxycontins, and I've been pill-free for quite a long time now. So that's how the whole thing started, and we basically just kept going more to extreme with it, where we've gone organic fertilizers. So we don't use any kind of chemicals in our growing, which my wife takes control of. A lot of our baking that you've seen, Kim, like the peach Bellini stuffed cupcakes or the cherry jubilee stuff, most of that fruit and all the mint in our teas are all grown organically in our backyard. So everything's done here by just me and my wife, because we've always had like a higher standard than anything else, because we believe that with us making it the way we do and only the two of us touching the product, you're not having a chance of, because there is a big controversy with edibles, and especially in Vancouver. It's a liability issue that everybody, you got to understand that. You don't know who's made that chocolate chip cookie or what they made that chocolate chip cookie. Maybe it was moldy weed. Maybe it was, weed that wasn't properly flushed. So many varieties. We hear now people trying to make edibles with shatter that went bad, butter that went bad. So now they're doing this extremities, and I'm like, wow, this is getting to a dangerous area where we need to start really regulating, especially edibles and stuff like this, to a point where you have to come to a certain regulation and can only be supplied by people like ourselves. I think is a good start of trying to regulate something like this.
I think too, Kim, with the recent ALU decision, like Doug holds an MMAR license. It's not a big one, but obviously everybody knows what happened with that decision. And I just think there's other people out there that could be doing the same thing that we're doing. And I think that needs to be the standard because of the liability issues with food products. People need to know the source. They need to know how it was made, like Doug was saying. So if there's other people who got an MMAR license and want to go that way and turning their product into edibles, I think that really truly needs to be the foundation for an medicinal edible product.
Oils,
company.
tinctures like we do, but it's a lot of work for me and my wife. I'll have to tell you guys, it's nonstop baking and cooking and doing and going and doing. It's exciting, but it's a lot of work, and it's paid off for us because we're pretty proud of our product.
Yeah, well, you should be. It's great product. I personally love everything that I've received from you guys so far. No complaints here, that's for sure. And now I'm venturing out to try out your doggy edibles, which I highly appreciate as well. Many of us have the canines that have problems as well, and dosing for them can be difficult for some people. So I like the fact that you ask questions and you say, well, you have a dog. We can cater to your animal, and how much does your dog weigh, and we'll make sure that they're dosed properly. And as you say, opening the doors for other moms and pops to turn around and do the same thing and take lead from you, that opens up our industry on the base level, and it creates more jobs. It creates more private industry, and it helps the economy in the long run. I think it's a far better alternative than looking at something like the NLP.
Yes, definitely.
Yep, that's exactly the way we've stuck to our guns, and even after our raid and everything else that we've been dealing with, and the court cases we got to deal with, and everything else, which will eventually come out, we're still sticking to our guns and sticking with it.
Yeah, and I think you're doing a fabulous job. And as I said, I'm anxious to move on to see how your doggy treats do for my cancerous dog, my older dog who's fighting cancer right now. She just needs some relief, and I'm anxious to see what your doggy treats have to do and expand in the future. Now, life wasn't always so smooth for you guys, though. You did experience a rough patch.
Yeah.
And
That's an
back in
understatement.
December.
That's an understatement. Let's put it. Yeah, that's we've been through quite a roller coaster in the last 2 years.
But you were just talking about Randy Hiller and his speech today, and you know how cannabis patients are being treated like back in the day when with leprosy, and that's kind of what we've been kind of saying in our community. What's been happening to us? It's back in the days of discrimination and oppression of what's going on. It's like we're on a new evolution here, and you know, like we've been getting it from every single angle, from the district of Sechelt, from the RCMP, from the neighbors targeting us because they don't believe in what we do.
Yeah, there's basically one specific neighbor, but he was manipulative enough to use the district, use the RCMP, and turn neighbors, not all neighbors, just a couple, enough to influence them to do the same thing. And we have been harassed. Like, you won't believe it's all going to come out for over a year and a half.
Yeah. When you did get raided, that didn't deter you at all. You continued to work. You were back up in operation the very next day. Did you?
No, that day.
Suffer a lot of loss?
I was so mad I couldn't sleep. I made a batch of chocolate an hour after they left.
Awesome. Right back into business. That's fabulous. Did you suffer a lot of loss from that raid?
Yeah, well, I mean, we did get our vehicle back. We'll talk about that. But I mean, the amount of stuff that goes into the products we make with, you know, different packaging material, foil wraps, all different, I mean,
labeling.
Our product, we've got so many products, that, you know, all the different colors, labeling. I mean, that was thousands and thousands of dollars. And, you know, they say they've taken 4,000 pieces of candies. Now, never mind the cookies and
cupcakes
and all that.
Tinctures and our oils and
that was a lot of hard work and time that went into making all that stuff. So it's hard to put a dollar value on a year's worth of you know, our time and effort.
Plus having to pay somebody to help me do a lot of stuff like the wrapping.
That was to the value of that was to the patients.
Yeah.
Patients who were looking for that product obviously wasn't available anymore. So, but we'll get more into this after the break, okay? Because we're about to go to a commercial break here. And tonight our bumper music is by a group called The Hicks, and you'll be hearing a song called The Munchie Blues, which I'm sure our guests can help with. Then Kim and I will continue our talk with Doug and Michelle Sikora from S&M Medicinal Sweet Shoppe. This is the Pace Radio Show at LifestyleRadio.ca.
I got the munchie blues. I need cake, chips, pop, and gummy bears too. I need nachos and cheese, potatoes, carrots, and peas. Gravy on my grits, barbecue ribs. I love licorice, the one they call dip. Twinkie, 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 ding.
The following is a public service announcement from the Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners Society. The Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners Society is a non-profit organization dedicated to ensuring improved access to therapeutic cannabis and cannabis byproducts in Canada. With a federal government that has committed to legalizing cannabis, we feel it is our duty to ensure that the medicinal use of cannabis doesn't get lost in the process and that there are clear distinctions made between the medicinal and recreational use of cannabis. It is our mission to ensure that government regulation doesn't get in the way of a sick, disabled, or terminally ill person's right to use or produce this amazing natural health product. If you would like to get involved, you can contact us on the internet www.canadiantherapeuticCannabisPartners.com, on Facebook, CTCP Society, or search Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners.
This is Al Graham of the Pace Radio Show. Are you keeping pace, as in keeping people advocating cannabis education? If you're not, and you're a cannabis consumer, then why not? Others are working hard every day to help educate people about cannabis so you can enjoy your daily 420. Get involved and speak out. Be loud and proud so that you can keep pace. Tune into the Pace Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear about people advocating cannabis education here on LifestyleRadio.ca.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
BMA offers cannabinoid testing, so if you want to prove you've got good medicine, head to BMA Hydroponics and prove it.
I love you, cookies and cream, what a dream. I'm your Burger King, I'm your Dairy Queen. Then I go down east and eat a big lobster. With some special sauce. I want an extra large pizza with extra pepperoni. I love lasagna, I love macaroni. Linguine, fettuccine.
Hello and welcome back. We are the Pace Radio Show, and we are live on LifestyleRadio.ca and also on Spreaker. If you are having a problem keeping up with all the important Canadian cannabis news, I'd like to suggest to you to download Grassroots Advocate, a free cannabis magazine put out by Pace. Not only does it have Canadian cannabis news, but it also has educational articles and recipes. Plus, it has a cannabis directory that lists signing clinics and compassion centers across Canada. All our news, the articles, and even the cannabis directory all have links embedded in them, which makes it easy for finding everything inside the magazine and also online. So go to pace-online.ca and click on the Grassroots button and download your free copy today. And while you're there, make sure to subscribe to our subscribers list. I'd also like to mention that this Friday on the 420 radio show, Al and the crew will have Howard J. Woolworth, retired detective and founder of COP, which is Citizens Opposing Prohibition. So tune in Friday at 7 p.m. here at Lifestyle Radio so you can catch that interview. Tonight on the Pace Radio Show, I'm joined by our guests, Doug and Michelle Sikora from S&M Medicinal Sweet Shoppe, and my joint host, Northern Kim Cooper. Kim, you there?
I'm back.
Sure, good.
Back with a smile.
S&M Medicinal.
We'll have to get into that.
Well, I'll tell you, Doug and Michelle, you guys got one awesome looking website. Like, I'm watching these slideshows go by me, and these things are fantastic.
Yeah. If anybody out there, you guys, the web design's by a good friend of mine, Web Concepts. He does a fantastic job. He's going to be upgrading us shortly here a little bit, so it's even going to get better.
It's certainly fantastic. It's eye-catching. It's moving. It's all-encompassing. You're definitely right there, Al.
Yeah. It looks for a guy like myself who has Crohn's, I am very limited to the amount of this stuff that I can eat. But I'll tell you, it looks good. But like, you got the lollipops too. Like, oh wow!
Well, I'll tell you,
you have to go to their website and see this stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
Within the next year, we recently have a strain that's all CBD. So we've been in the process of developing that and doing research in that with the oil, like CBD oil with it. But we're going to end up, and within a year's time, have all the products that you see on there available with just CBD only.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's my next invention I'm doing. I'm excited.
Doug's a pretty excitable guy.
Oh, he is. That is for sure.
Oh, I love to create good food, I'll tell you. I love to bake, and if I can create something that makes anybody smile, I love to do that stuff.
Yeah. Good, good. Well, it's put a smile on my face, and I'm not even eating it.
Yeah, see, you should have told me. I could have set you one out so you could have been sucking on a lollipop while the show was on.
Yeah, really, eh? Okay. Guys, before the break, we were talking about the raid, or the you guys being arrested or whatever. You want to get back into all that? Or I drool over your website?
Sounds good, Al. Thanks. Yeah, just before the break, we were talking about the raid. You guys, I mean, a lot of people would have just curled up in a ball and folded up and given up, but you kept going. The amount of loss that you suffered was extreme. The amount of product that was already pre-made, as well as product ready to be produced into your final products, but as well as all of your equipment. Did you get anything back?
Okay, hold on now. They didn't touch my equipment. They didn't take my lights. They didn't take my plants. They didn't take my trim downstairs they left. They didn't take the 20 bottles of tincture that we distilled for over a year. They left all those. But they took all the little bottles of tincture that were pre-bottled for our clients, yes. So there was things they left that didn't make sense to us, but they took other things.
They took all the wrapping, like, for packaging, but yet they left 100 different molds.
Yeah, I've got thousands of dollars worth of chocolate molds, gummy molds, and they left all those. If they took those, I would have been able to make all my chocolates in that, because I had no molds. I couldn't have afforded to go out and buy that thousands of dollars worth of molds.
We already had a bunch of extraction, because, we do the coconut oil extraction. We had a bunch of that already made that they left. So they only seem to take the stuff that was already packaged and in display cases.
Yes, anything that had an S&M sticker on it, but like I said, the wrapping we couldn't understand, because they took some wrapping, the expensive stuff, but left us our little cookie bags and stuff like that. There was lots of those. Yeah. They
so
left
why take one and not the other? It makes no sense.
It
seems like they were very disorganized.
There was no organization. No. They just picked and choose what they were going to take.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, where they could have done a lot more damage if they'd taken those molds and those things that that you really need.
Yeah, well, like even the tincture, they left us 3 cases of little bottles with the sealed lids not in there, still waiting to be filled. They left us all those. They could have taken those, and I wouldn't be able to afford to go get bottles again right now. And they left us enough that we didn't really take too much of a hit. Plus, we had so many people out in the cannabis community that reached out to us. We had not clients, but friends that were going to give us 300 grams of oil, so that our clients could not be hurt. So we had the outreach by the cannabis community, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's who pays in the end. It's the clients that are patients. We're all patients suffering from something, whether it be disease or illness of some sort. We're all suffering from something, and we're utilizing this by prescription, legally, most of us, and we just choose to have somebody else do our baking for us. There shouldn't be interference with this operation at all.
That's exactly what we've been trying to say. It's just like if you have a license, even you want to come to me because you know what kind of product I make, it's made safely, you're not going to get sick from it, then we're getting a lot of clients calling us from Vancouver now this is before the dispensaries aren't allowed to sell edibles, because they realize nobody can tell them how exactly the products were made in a lot of the dispensaries. So that was starting to scare people.
Right. And that's what, again, I got to come back to with you guys. That intrigued me so much from the beginning with you, is the fact that you grow your own. Everything that you produce goes through your own individual hands. There's no other hands involved. There's no other exterior product. And that's what I keep coming back to with you guys. I've never ever interviewed or wanted actually to do an interview with anybody that was owning a company from a company's perspective. But this intrigued me because of that aspect. You're the only one, I think, that I know of out there that does this.
That's what we wanted to be, Kim. We wanted to set the standard because there is so many liability issues with edible products. And what better way but to give people at least the comfort to know, like, you know, our house is an open door. If people want to come in and see where they're getting it from, they have every right to do that. How are you going to know if you have to order from an LP? How are you going to know what was in that? You don't get to sit down and talk to those people and get to know who those people are or get to know their background or the reason why they started doing this. You don't get to find that out. You don't get to build that connection. And we feel that's extremely important, you know, for people that are just starting to educate themselves on the benefit of the plant.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it comes back to when you keep it in small business over corporation, it comes back to patients helping patients.
That's exactly, yeah. And I'm the number one patient of our company because that's how we started this whole thing, because it worked for me to get myself off of the opioids that the system had put me on without me realizing how addicted the ass has got me, because I was in construction. I was constantly getting hurt, and not for a reason or anything like that, but just major accidents. I did major construction. Part of the chances, yes, there is a safety factor, a lot of things, but they just kept no claims, wouldn't get me retrained. Just here, take the pills. We'll pay for the pills. Take the pills. You're allowed to go to work. And that's all. One of the biggest reasons was myself, to get myself off those pills that they kept making me take, and my body kept making me take. I don't have to take any of my candy or any of my products if I don't require it. That's the big difference.
Yeah. And that's the main story for so many of us. You know, you're injured on the job and they tell you, here.
Yeah, the doctors are telling you this. You talk to your doctor about taking these pills, and they say, "Oh, you're stabilized, you're okay." And you mention to them, "Well, what happens if I all of a sudden jumped in an excavator, swung around, and killed somebody, and they blood tested me and found out I was whacked out on Oxycontins? But you said I was, stabilized, I was allowed." And I'd say to the doctor, "What if I was an alcoholic? I got up and drank 6 beer in the morning, walked to work, and then killed somebody with the excavator, and they found out I was drinking. Could you tell them that I was stabilized on alcohol too?" And they would never have an answer for me.
Yeah, no. Well, it's legal prescriptions are their biggest problem right now, and people are using cannabis more and more to get off the pharmaceuticals. And the police and everybody else, I mean, they're waiting for the governments to make their decisions, and in the meantime, they really don't know what they're doing. Much of what goes on with our general police departments largely depends on who's on shift, and that's the sad situation. That's reality of things.
Yeah, we've recently had. Are you there, Cam?
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, there you are. You seem to be fading in and out a little bit here.
Oh, I'm here. We're all here.
Okay. It just sounded like you faded in now. We're like, oh, did we lose you guys? Hey, we're back on Sunshine Coast.
But we're
all good.
What you were saying about, depending on who's on shift with your local police force, that's kind of where our issue is here. Oh. I mean, I've always said there's a different culture here on the Sunshine Coast regarding marijuana. I mean, I've lived here for 30 years. So I know my community. And it wasn't until January 2015 when we got a new staff sergeant who is a conservative from Calgary who moved into town, is when things started changing. You can look through, it's all public information for the Sunshine Coast Regional District Policing Committee minutes. And you can see his direction of where he was going. He was targeting marijuana users.
Yeah. As many do, and that's just the problem is, it depends on who's on shift, and people coming into new jurisdictions that weren't there before, and then all of a sudden the landscape in that jurisdiction changes. We've seen it time and time again. John Vergados is currently going through a situation. John Vergados from Skunk Magazine had charges that were 5 years old, reinstituted for selling seeds. because a new Crown Attorney is on board in his jurisdiction and decided.
Exactly.
To reopen the case.
Exactly.
I mean, it's being left up to these individuals, and it's just devastating to people's lives. The government needs to come down with some clear-cut action, and hopefully being forced in with this latest Allard decision will force their hand, and we'll get some relief come August. Do you have any hope that things will change come August?
Oh, come August, so we're hoping that everything gets changed here. That's big.
We're hoping that the federal government listens to what Judge Phelan said about dispensaries, that they have been at the heart of the cannabis community and, supplying to patients. But who knows what they're going to say?
Yeah, it's the government. Who knows?
Look what happened in Port Alberni. There was issues prior to them bringing in regulations. The RCMP were warning dispensaries to shut down. So the municipality of Port Alberni set in regulations, licensed dispensaries, but yet the RCMP are still going in there and giving them orders to shut down because it's on a federal level. So, who's to say what? I'm very skeptical about what's going to happen in August.
Yeah, as many of us are, Michelle, as many of us are, that's for sure. Going back to your court case, when do you go to court next? What happens? Where are you in your issues?
I'll give you a little brief rundown. So, we had the raid was November 28th. No charges were laid at that time. So they sought a detention order. So under Section 490 of the Criminal Code, Part 2, after 90 days of detention, in order for the RCMP to get an extension, it's mandatory that they give 3 clear days' notice to whom the items were seized from. So that person, especially when charges haven't been laid, as they weren't at this time, that we have the opportunity to go before the judge and explain why the RCMP do no longer need to hold our items. But when we went to go and get our stuff February 26th, because the detention order was over, no charges were laid, we were informed that the RCMP got the extension on the detention order on February 18th without giving us 3 clear days' notice. So we're going to Supreme Court for a hearing regarding that issue on May 5th, and then we go before the court again for our first appearance on May 18th for the charges, which obviously will be pleading not guilty.
Okay, and what charges were finally instituted?
So when we went to court the first time up here in Sechelt, over the day to get our van back on March 8th, was the day that the RCMP came out to us 10 minutes before we went into court and laid charges on us. So Doug is being charged with 4 counts of trafficking, and I'm being charged with 3 counts of trafficking.
For 19 pieces of candy and 4 tea bags. We might go down in history as the only people who sell undercover candy and tea bags.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So what they're alleging is that we sold to an undercover RCMP officer that didn't have a medical prescription. But when somebody tells me they're having issues with their wife and they need something to relax,
45-year-old man,
and they don't want to go to the liquor store and get a bottle of wine, or they don't want to go to the doctor to get Valium or something like the antidepressant, and he's choosing to use a marijuana product, that to me is a medical reason.
And there's no difference between the choose of one of the 3.
You're still a patient. You're still a person with a medical condition.
Well, I mean, he was talking that he needed something to relax, like he was depressed. He didn't want to tell his wife. Who do we know? He wasn't trying. He was shy. He didn't want to, had problems, him and his wife. So who knows? We don't know.
Who knows? That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're about to go to the break. And then we'll get into our last segment at that time. So it's time to hear a little bit more from the Hicks about their munchie problem, and then when we return, Kim and I will continue this conversation with Doug and Michelle Sikora from S&M Medicinal Sweet Shoppe. You're listening to the Pace Radio Show here on LifestyleRadio.ca.
I love matzo ball soup. Skippers, lox, and bagels.
I love the eggs, frog legs, and the smells.
Burritos, taquitos, fajitas, and mojitos. I love burgers and corn dogs and Doritos. Twink it, ding dong. Twink it, ding dong. Twink it, ding dong.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
BMA offers cannabinoid testing, so if you want to prove you've got good medicine, head to BMA Hydroponics and prove it.
The National Task Force on Medicinal Cannabis is a group of not-for-profit organizations dedicated to influencing government policy with factual evidence. Our mission is to ensure that a constitutional medical program is developed that will address the concerns of all Canadians that require therapeutic cannabis. The task force is looking for dedicated people who are willing to contribute to our cause. We have formed this task force to foster a unified approach and focus on lobbying the federal government and Health Canada. We represent the combined expertise of thousands of patients with more than a decade of experience. As a task force participant, you, your business, or your group will have an opportunity to show that you care and offer your unique skills to promote the cause. If you would like to get involved, go to medcanataskforce.org. That's medcanataskforce.org and use the Contact Us link to get started. Help us help you.
Tune into the Pace Radio Show and catch Kim Cooper, Debbie Stoll-Skiffen, or Alison Murden, along with myself, Al Graham, as we talk to Canadian and international cannabis advocates who are working hard to help patients and to end cannabis prohibition. Catch us live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at LifestyleRadio.ca.
Twink it, ding dong. Twink it, ding dong. I got the munching blues. Twink it, ding dong. Twink it.
Welcome back, and thanks for tuning into the Pace Radio Show. We are live tonight here at LifestyleRadio.ca and on Spreaker. Every Wednesday night you'll hear us. We're here, and we're live. Plus, don't forget, you can find us on YouTube, Mixcloud, as well as on TuneIn Radio. Tonight's bumper music was by the BC-based band The Hicks, and their song The Munchie Blues, a song that what some say is one of Canada's nasty side effects, but medicinal effect for many others, including myself. If you enjoyed tonight's song and want to hear more of it, then look them up on YouTube, because I know that they have many great cannabis tunes, which we occasionally do play here at on the Pace Radio Show. Tonight on the Pace Radio Show, I'm joined by our guests, Doug and Michelle Sikora of S&M Medicinal Sweet Shoppe, and my joint host, Northern Kim Cooper. Well, Kim, what do you think? We're into the last segment here. I know you still got some more. You got some more questions for our guests here, Doug and Michelle.
I sure do, Al. Ready to go on whenever you are.
Just so you know, Kim, I'm still looking at this website.
It's hard to choose from, ain't it?
Yeah, like look at this. There's this one thing here. Tutti Frutti Chocolate Chews. Like that just sounds. I don't know how it affects my Crohn's, but I'll tell you, it can still sound good.
Well, that's one of our signature treats that everybody, once they try them, they love them. It's like an eat more, but a better chewy, chocolatey goodness. And I don't use peanuts. What I use is a magnitude of different nuts of like almonds, pecans, cashews, macadamians into a blend of that mixed in with the chew mix.
Oh, nice.
I can attest to its goodness.
Good. I'll have to try some of these someday.
Yeah, we've got about another 15 items that will be getting added to that all that menu. We haven't been upgrading the website since I've been so busy with everything lately, and but I have been baking, and I've got about 15 new items to go on there.
Do you really? Jeez, they're looking good. They're looking good for sure.
Yeah,
my latest one is an almond buttery toffee crisp. And if you like almonds, you'll love this one.
Yeah,
that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds really good.
Okie dokie. I think there was something that we were going to touch on. And what was that again, Kim?
There is. We're going to touch on a little something. You got something going on right in your own neighborhood. You've got another meeting to go to pretty much immediately following our interview tonight. You want to tell us what's going on and what you're part of over there?
Yeah, so tonight's delegation appointment tonight, it kind of goes around the whole issue about the discrimination that we've got going on. We had one of our neighbors right beside us place a bunch of cameras on his house pointing directly into our yard.
At our house.
The RCMP have taken the stance that it's not an issue and they are refusing to do anything about it. So we placed a 60 by 80 foot tarp in our yard to block the camera.
He wasn't expecting Doug to have a 60 by 80 tarp, and I put it from cedar to cedar right along the property line.
So the District of Sechelt has given us an order now to remove the tarp from our yard. So that's what we're going to delegation about tonight. But the guy who started all of this, who lived next door, who put the cameras, he's actually sold his house and moved out of the province now that it caused all these issues. So the new owners just moved in over the weekend and taken the cameras down. But like I said, they're announcing tonight regulations that they've developed for dispensaries at the district meeting this evening.
Oh, so they're trying to slide that in there.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we're wondering if they're trying to kind of keep us happy. Let's put it that way.
You know, we've been trying to do our due diligence. Like I said, we've been in this community I've been here almost 30 years, and we've had several meetings with the mayor. This is actually my second delegation appointment in the last 6 months to discuss all the issues that are going on, with dispensaries. I told them they need to, get on board here, take a proactive approach, and they didn't want to. And now we've got 3 more dispensaries in downtown Sechelt that have opened up, and the community is in an uproar saying, what's going on? Why did the RCMP raid Doug and Michelle, upstanding members of our community, but we're allowing to have dispensaries from Vancouver come up and open up in Sechelt, and nothing is happening?
And they're allowed to be, weeds have been open for a year. Nothing against these dispensaries or anything, but we could have done that a year and a half ago. We did not. We talked to the previous mayor, worked with him and council. They were going to allow us to do it immediately and regulate us. Then there was the election we knew was coming up, so we thought we'd hold back, which was smart. A new mayor and council was elected in. We worked with them right away. January, we had a meeting with the mayor after his election. He wanted to meet us, and he wanted to work with us. And then within a month later, the dispensary had opened up and just basically threatened to sue the district and RCMP if they did anything. And we were told to be patient and step back. And we have done that after over a year, because we've had 4 meetings with the mayor. And he just basically keeps telling us to be patient.
Wow. So big business is moving in, and you've been trying to make this work with your community for so long, and you just keep getting the backslide. Well, I wish you the best of luck tonight at your meeting. And I hope you're successful, Michelle, and you stay vigilant in your cause. I can say the edibles company is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the edibles company is fantastic on a whole. Your line is great. I love the line right on your website. We specialize in tasty medicinal treats, teas, tinctures, and high THC oil. We use organic coconut oil for extraction. I mean, mom and pop shop businesses like yours should be embraced by our communities. It's adding business and money into the economy and business into our communities. And they should be embraced rather than targeted.
You're exactly right there, Kim, because one big thing when you're saying that is we've been approached to go to Vancouver, approached to go to other places. We've been approached by corporations that has offered me and Michelle a large amount of money that we sat down and turned away twice. And have told the mayors and that we wanted to keep our store here in the community, just like you said, to keep the employment and the economy and all the funding and everything in our community to help the community build around us. And this is why we've stuck to our guns to stay and do what we've done here in this community.
Well, fantastic job so far, that's for sure.
Well, we're trying and we're not giving up the fight. That's, definitely not. It's not an option.
No.
Before we still got a few more minutes here, but before we do leave, there was one thing I did want to discuss. I do see more and more pets involved with the cannabis thing, articles online and stuff. And I see here you got your healthy dog treats. Do you have many people who basically could use these treats to maybe substitute? What are they like? There's a medication that they can give dogs, sort of like an arthritic medication.
Well,
is this something that you could give to a dog along that way?
Well, that's kind of why we like to sit down, and it's the same with humans. We need to know not just the weight and size of the dog, but also what the condition is, because we've through research and communicating with other patients that are using them, like four-legged patients, and how it's working for different conditions. We're talking arthritis, cancer, diabetes, Cushing's disease.
Cancer was a big one. A friend of ours, his dog was diagnosed with lymphoid cancer. It was basically, I've known his dog since he was a puppy, and he got him. The dog knew me. He would come up to me, run up to me and lick me, and when he was diagnosed, the dog basically couldn't move. And he had basically 3 weeks to live. So we forced our treats to him, and he actually started giving them to his dog. Within 1 week, the dog went from dying and no energy. He came into our driveway. The dog jumped out of the window, ran around my yard, came up and tackled me, and this is a pit bull, and started licking my face like he's basically saying thank you for doing it. And it basically gave him, he did that, but he gave him 2 weeks of his life,
So, and, we rescue Rottweilers. So one of our females, she was rescued from a puppy mill. So her mom was way overbred. So Akela suffers from a lot of different medical conditions, chronic eye infection, chronic bladder infection, you name it, she had it.
Ear infection.
So what we found is giving her a maintenance dose every day of a treat has stopped her. In the last year, she hasn't had a bladder infection or an eye infection.
Yeah.
We're talking about an eye infection where you're pulling out a finger size of goop, green, yellow, every morning and every evening. And now she doesn't have that.
Wow.
It's a maintenance dose.
It's amazing. It's amazing how many ailments this has helped. And I know many that take it, like humans that take it as a maintenance dose for various ailments. And I've wondered and said, how many other things is it taking care of inside of us that we aren't even aware of?
That's exactly. That's what we wonder too. We always say that.
With our doggy treats, they're very low in THC and higher in CBD. And I only say that right now, we can't do testing on oil products to get it completely accurate. We're not able to do that yet. All of our testing is done by us. We'll take the dog treats and try them out on ourselves to see how the effect is. We'll smoke the extract that is being used that's going into those dog treats to see how it is. Because high levels of THC is not good for pets. We've seen the repercussions of
exactly. That's what I was going to ask you about, was the dosing, because the animals can't tell you that they've consumed too much unless you can actually physically see them. But as far as consuming them, coconut, spiced pumpkins, cinnamon rolls, fruit cakes. They do sound good.
The doggy treats are made for dogs, but they're perfectly edible for humans.
Well, that's it. There's treats you can share with your human friend.
Yeah. Wow, eh?
Wow. Just amazing.
Good. Yeah. Well, it's good, that the people are, reaching out because with their animals, because there are some I've see it, every once in a while it shows up in the news feeds and I've talked to people on the radio show about getting into their pets. So more and more people are doing that as an alternative.
Well, every living being has a cannabinoid system, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's right. We all have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I have a website, or one of my Facebook sites is cannabis information for people and pets, and we've got droves of people on there with every kind of pet you can think of, from rabbits all the way up to horses. That people are making
That's funny
inquiries.
you say that, because we were looking at something for horses. We're just kind of in another development stage, and we're actually looking at different treats for different animals.
Yeah. Well, I get inquiries on that site for absolutely every kind of pet you can think of.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I have some friends with some horses.
They all have a cannabinoid system.
Yeah, and they all have that, like you mentioned, the cannabinoid system. Okay, we're down to the last 3 minutes of the show. Okay, so what usually at this point? What's that?
I said thank you guys so much for giving us the opportunity.
Much appreciated, guys. The sunshine coast, it is sunny here.
Yeah, we'll keep shoveling just so you can enjoy it.
Hey, but I got to tell you one more thing, is that Fridays, you two, are my testing days, and you guys are personally invited by me and Michelle to come down here anytime, and on Fridays, have a seat. You're going to be staying for a while, because that's when we do testing days on new products. So when Doug makes new things, we have a fun day here on Fridays. And if anybody ever wants to call us, we have the 1-844-SM-TREAT number. That's a toll-free number that anybody can call us from across Canada and the U.S., I believe.
And your website can be found where?
www.smmedicinaltreat.com.
And you guys are on Twitter?
We're on Twitter at MedTreats, and we're also on Facebook at S&M Medicinal Sweet Shoppe. You can find links to all of our activity right on our website, or even on Facebook, you can get a link right to our website as well.
And we try to post a lot of our latest things, especially with the court things and everything that's going on with us, on our website constantly, too.
Good. Keeps everybody up to date, eh? So, all right, thank you very much. Now, before I get into my end ramble here, Kim, have you got somebody you would like to highlight, promote, thank?
I do, Al. I've got somebody that I've been actually meaning to do, and I just keep not having the book near me during shout-out time, so I haven't been able to do it for a few weeks, so my apologies on that. But I've been reading a book recently, and it's actually very excellent. I would call it my new Bible, perhaps, my go-to book for questions for sure on growing. The Marijuana Horticulture Fundamentals, a comprehensive guide to cannabis cultivation and hashish production, by Kay of Trichome Technologies. It's just been released by Green Candy Press. This book is something. It's huge, and it has so stockpiled full of information, it will take me absolutely years to get through this thing. And I think for in future, any question I have regarding growing or maintenance of plants, in the near future, I'm going to have a brand new book to go to. Chock full of information, easy to read, great book. Somebody should pick that up.
Good, thank you very much. And what I was going to mention before I sign off is that Pace was in our local newspaper this week, just so you know, Kim.
Yes, I saw.
You did see that. Basically, we were in there because a friend of mine owns a business called Cannabis. And presently, right now, he's in a small local flea market, and he is expanding and getting his own store. So he has his own storefront here in our downtown, And Pace will have an educational area within the store, including comfortable seating for patients to come and visit and talk and ask questions. So I'm looking forward to that. And that grand opening is on Friday, May the 13th.
Awesome.
Yeah, okay. Tonight's music was by the Hicks with their song The Munchie Blues, and we'll probably play a little bit of that when we wrap things up. And just a reminder to let everybody know that we'll be back live again next Wednesday with my joint host, Allison Murden. She has a very special guest, and one that you don't want to miss. And why? And that is because it's a fella who has been doing a fantastic job representing patients in the courts. And we are very happy to say that we will have lawyer Kirk Tusaw join us for an hour-long conversation. And so looking forward to that. Lots of questions for sure. Yeah. You can find and we're very fortunate to have this opportunity to have Kirk come on to the show and discuss this. So
absolutely.
You can find the Pace Radio Show on Facebook and on Twitter at Pace Radio. We can also be found on the web at pace-online.ca, or you can find us by searching for People Advocating Cannabis Education. Thank you go out to our sponsor, the friendly folks at BMA Hydroponics, who are located in Belleville, Ontario, LRAP, and LifestyleRadio.ca. A huge thank you to our guests, Doug and Michelle Sikora from S&M. Wonder what that means. S&M Medicinal Sweet Shoppe, and to my joint host, Northern Ontario, Kim Cooper. Plus a big thank you to you, our listeners, for tuning into the program. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
I got the munchie blues.
I need cake, chips, pop, and gummy bears too. I need nachos and cheese, potatoes, carrots, and peas. Gravy on my grits, barbecue ribs. I love licorice, the one they call nib. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Baby, I love you. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Honey, I love you. Cookies and cream, what a dream. I'm your Burger King, I'm your Dairy Queen. Then I'd go down east and eat a big lobster with some special sauce. I want an extra large pizza with extra pepperoni. I love lasagna, I love macaroni.
Linguine, fettuccine, ravioli,
and bologna. I love matzo ball soup, kippers, lox, and bagels.
I love the eggs from legs and the snails.
burritos, taquitos, fajitas, and mojitos.
I love burgers and corn dogs and Doritos. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Honey, I love you. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Baby, I love you. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. I love you. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. I got the munchie blues. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong. Twinkie, 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 ding dong.
It's gotta be in some bar.
Sorry, boys and girls, but this is X-rated. So if you're under 18...
Get out, goddammit! Get the point? Good.
Enough?
Bend over. She's my
Y'all ready for this?